Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Today we're going to do this totally matte look. This is a truly an everyday kind of eyeshadow look that can take you from morning to evening. Or if you want to jazz it up a bit to look a little more sparkly to go out to dinner, all you have to do is take any sparkle shade, because this pretty much goes with everything, and just tap it on over the top of Drift. I just put these patches on under my eyes. I'm sure that you could figure that out. But in case you were wondering what they are, they're these. And I bought these. And I really like these. So you know all the twitching going on with that eye? Somebody said it could be like under eye patches or caffeinated eye cream. That seems like that would... Yeah, that isn't the case with me, but, you know, if you're having an eye twitching problem, you might check into that. This is just Armani concealer that I'm trying to use up. So that's what we're going to put down here instead of an eye primer. But, yeah, you know what I used to say all the time? I would go, but who knows? All the time. I just remembered that when I said that. I just remembered that I used to drive everybody crazy by pointing to my butt and then my nose and saying, but who knows? Don't know why I felt like that was something that needed to be shared. I think we got a little bit much here. Work with it. All right, just ignore that I have too much on my eyes and pretend like this is actually sane. Oh my goodness. I should have done this off camera. I would have saved a bunch of time, right? Then I could have just pointed to my eyes and say, that's concealer. My ability to never get better at this just astounds me. What I've been asked to do is to do what I normally do and just use mattes. So I've just got 3 very boring looking simple mattes that I'm going to do my eye with today. And I say boring because, well, they're just like boring. But we can come up with a classic eye using just these 3 matte shades. There they are. Really, all we're doing is messing with shade and light to contour our eye. And we're going to call it eyeshadow. Maybe get a little smoky. All right, so that is Drift. This one is Speedway, and I forgot already what this one is. I just grabbed these out, and let me act like I can see here. Grounds. So we have grounds to go to the Speedway. You catch my drift? All right, let me show you those. This is Drift, Speedway, and Grounds. So that's what we're looking at. If you don't have these, I'm sure that in every palette you have, there's probably some shades like this. Okay, so just grab those. As per usual, I always start with the E25, don't I? I'm just going to get Drift, put that all over from the inner corner all the way across. I'm going to put that on. I use Drift a lot, don't I? Surprised I haven't hit pan on that shade because I use it all the time. All right, now I'm going to dip the end of it into Speedway, and I'm going to come find my crease, which, depending on your eye shape, could be really easy to find or not. You may have a bunch of skin. I don't have a bunch, but I do have some slackness going on here where the skin's kind of lying down, but if I follow anatomy, then I'm going to find my crease. So what I'm doing is going for the orbit bone. And whatever skin is there is going to get this on it. So I'm just tucking this brush right there. See? And you can even just pat that across if you want to. Or you can go back and forth, depending on your level of movement that you want. Okay? Now see, I'm getting sloppy here because normally I'm not worried about what's getting on my lid from this shade that's in my crease because I know I'm going to go over it with something really sparkly and you'll never see it. That's not going to happen today. So I should be taking a little bit more care to make sure that I'm not getting this everywhere. Okay, now I've told you guys before, like all the time, because I don't know if this is your first video with me or not. I am not a professional makeup artist. Not. So I'm just telling you what I think, what works for me. Hopefully it works for you as well. But as you can see, on my eyes anyway, that light shade has caused my lid to look a little bigger and pull it forward, and it's causing my crease area or these folds of skin and whatnot to go back because of the darker color. Just like that palette that we all loved so much from Kat Von D. Remember that back in the day? Do you remember that? The Shade and Light palette. Looked like the most boring palette in the world, but it was really a very functional palette because it would give you this everyday kinds of shadows that go with everything that you can use to, through shading and lighting, contour your eyes. Most of the time I talk and run around like this and I've got my eyebrows up because I just want to give you that element of I'm surprised all the time. But I don't know. I don't have a mirror on me. Perhaps I do this while I'm watching TV. But we're going to take a gamble and say I don't. We're going to say that when I'm watching TV, I'm actually relaxed. And when I do that, you can see that I'm losing this color here because it's going down into those folds of skin. So I need to come up a little higher than normal with that dark shade. So just relax my eye. And on this side only, I'm going to pat a little bit more color on the skin so that it looks more even to this one. It's never going to be totally the same. And I would say that's because I'm not a professional, but I've studied magazine models, you know, that have had their eyes professionally done, and they're not the same either. So using the E36, I'm now going to come into grounds, just crisscross in there. As per usual with the darker color, I'm going to come right here on the outside of my eyelid and just in little bitty circles, barely touching my lid, I'm skating this color. Right there. Right there, right there. Right there on the outside. And gradually working my way up. Remember, this is my more hooded eye, so I'm going to relax so that I get this skin, that skin right there, that when I raise my eyebrows is up here, okay? So you want to do this both ways. And relax, relax, relax. And I'm just barely making this, it's just a little bit darker here on the outside. Okay, same thing, other side. Just touching down, making a circle, it just gets bigger and bigger. I'm just starting here and just basically taking and just bigger, bigger until it's gradually growing up into my crease. And what's left over, look, I'm way back here on this. I'm just barely bringing that in to darken up my crease a little bit more, make it more rich than it was with Speedway all by itself. Now come over here and do the same thing, but I'm paying attention to keeping my eyes normal so that I get color you can see. It's not all lost in the folds of my skin. Hopefully. Now we're going to take the E55, which is a dense shader, and it's going to pick up more of drift than I did initially with the E25 because it's dense, see? So let's get that banged off a little bit, and now we're going to come back over the eyelid clean up any speedway that I may have gotten on there, and lighten up this inner part of our eye. If, or wherever you want to put the light shade. I mean, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just showing you light and dark techniques with matte shadows, because some ladies don't want to use shimmers. Some ladies aren't like me and want to look like they're off to the burlesque show. Sometimes I really do get out there with my looks, I know. All I'm doing is taking that E25 again and just kind of mixing together, marrying what was left of speedway on this brush and drift, so that it creates a kind of like a gradient going across my lid. I'm basically done for right now. We're going to take these little patches off, do the rest of my face, maybe tell you a little story about this twitching eye and what it reminded me of this morning. And then we're going to come back and finish the lower part of the eye and, yeah, try to do something with this hair that might end up in a scarf, because I need a haircut really bad. I've not mixed my Laura Mercier foundation with this tinted moisturizer. I've done it with the other one. I love this stuff so much. I just want to try to mix these two together and see what will happen. Because why not? I mean, I can always go wash it off if I don't like it, right? So I'm going to take 2 or 3 pumps of the Laura Mercier foundation with the tinted moisturizer. I'm going to mix them together. And I shouldn't have done that yet, because here, let me just show you really quick. They're both Cameo. This was brought up recently about, and I don't know why. And I think my friend Melissa55, I'll show you as soon as we get this on here. I think I heard her say one time that there's like this discrepancy between Laura Mercier shades and their different foundations. And I don't know why that is, but I'll show you something here so that you can see that in case you don't know that, because it's aggravating. And if somebody from Laura Mercier is here, I'm sure there's a logical explanation for why this is, but I don't know what it is. So maybe somebody can tell us why Cameo in, this tinted moisturizer is not the same as that one, or the foundation, or, whatever. We're just going to put that on and get going. But anyway, I am getting ready to film another video, of which I'm going to talk to you about, I think, these eye drops. I will talk to you about that in more detail in the other video. This morning I put it in my eye, trying to get something in my eye. It takes like 4 men and to hold my eye open and get an eye drop in my eye. Anyway, so I'm doing this, okay? Which reminded me of my sister when she was little. She went through this phase where she had this nasty habit of doing this. She just sit around and do this. And I had a nasty habit at the same time. The 3 of us each had our own little tick, I guess, that we would do. I'm going to scrape the rest of this off here with this sponge. Mine was, remember the Farrah Fawcett hair? Okay, well, I had my version of it. I was told by many people that, honey, you just don't have enough hair. Honey, your hair's not thick enough. Honey, you can't do this. Or it was the same thing all over again when I wanted to be Rachel in the 90s, They're like, you just don't have enough hair, honey. So for people who ask me why I don't grow out my hair, or please grow out your hair, or whatever, I'm doing what's good for my hair. See, my hair, once it gets to a certain point, forget it. I just don't have enough hair. I just don't have enough thick hair to do that. Okay, we'll come back to mine and my brother's habits in just a minute. I want to show you while we're at this stage the difference in these in case it matters to you. So this is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer in Cameo, the one that's kind of greasy for me. I'll just put that there. And then this is the new oil-free one in Cameo. We'll put that right next to it. And then I'm going to show you their foundation. And this is also in Cameo, and we'll put it right under it so it looks like two eyeballs and a nose. Very slight, but there is differences, okay? And if it's not wanting to hold this focus for very long. So the thing that's running is the foundation. Oh, by the way, Shy Guy says to tell the few of you that made this comment about when I had these Laura Mercier products on in the favorites video on my glass little container thing there. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? He said to relay to you, oh, you are such naughty little vixens. This one right here on this side is the oil-free one, and of course the other one is the one that has the oil in it, or is more oily, right? So that's the difference. All of these are in Cameo.
It looks like a funny face with a big blown nose, doesn't it? It's no longer than my nose, though. Way there. My nose is longer.
I was going to use this, but now I feel like I need to use the Laura Mercier powder instead because I have Laura Mercier on my face. Whatever. Anyway, so my brother's nasty habit was his hair in the 70s, of course. Boys' hairs were a lot longer in the 70s. Just all of them collectively, their hairs. Boys wore their hair lots longer, so you know he's got this hairstyle that's kind of feathered back. Me too. Actually, it's kind of the same hairstyle. My brother's habit is to go like this. Okay. My habit is to take my hands and run it through my hair. Hair every 5 seconds. Here we are at the dinner table, right? And my dad, it's hot, okay? Because what did we have? Central air? No. You know, you probably were the same as us, and you had a fan that stood at the front door entrance, blowing air this way, and one at the back door that blew the air the other way, right? No ceiling fans, no air. It was fans. So it's hot. And do you guys get crabby and cranky when it's hot? You're hot? Yeah. How did we make it through that? I don't know. So here's my dad. He comes home from work. He's tired. He's sweaty. He's hot. And we're doing our normal stuff at the table, kicking each other under the table. You know, I want this. She's got that. Blah, 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 at the table. But in addition to that, we're doing, all of us, at the same time, the habits that drive my dad crazy. At the same time, well, my sister's sitting there going, I'm doing this. My brother's going. And Dad's like,
right, in the corner until you can quit.
I did that to my dad the other day, and he did not go in the corner. You think I'm kidding you, but I'm being totally serious. I don't want him up on the ladder. He's just sitting there grinning at me because he's going to do what he wants to do, right? Because he's a dad and he can do that. But I'm like, no, you're not going to do that. You know, go to the corner and stand there until you can quit grinning. And he just stands there and grins at me.
Like, what are you going to do about it?
This blush was absolutely worth the wait, but that highlighter, I thought we were making highlighters that were for older women. This highlighter shows texture like crazy on me, but it's an excellent eyeshadow. I just wanted to point that out, that while I do love that blush, I've used this enough now that I can tell you I don't like that highlighter. But anyway, I wanted to tell you, because the last time I talked to you guys about this, I said, this is too warm. It is. And then I like this for the contour. Since we've got it here, let's contour my nose. That I like it for contouring my nose, basically. That it's almost the same shade as my Sigma. One that I like from, you know, the Stephanie Lange palette, that contour that's in that. I really, really like that a lot. And that this is almost the same, except it's much bigger. The point is that I wanted to tell you, if I mix these two together, they come out really good. It's like this cancels out a little bit of this, and it's not too orange then. But I miss my Charlotte, so we're going to use Charlotte today. I can just almost assuredly tell you that my hair is not going to behave today. By the time you see this, it probably won't be so recent, but... And maybe by the time you see this, it will be old news, but I'm going to try to switch my published dates. So make sure you hit that bell and for notifications and stuff so you know, okay? Because I'll be monkeying around seeing which day that I publish on, or maybe it won't make a difference at all, but you know, so that more people watch it right out of the gate, you know, because that seems to be really important to YouTube.
They're so bossy.
I think what I'm going to try to do is Monday and Friday. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Whatever, who cares? Let's move on. This is a Laura Mercier blush. I don't want to always make this, you know, but I've been using this blush nonstop. I'm going to use it anyway. It's just like a perfect color, I think, for an every single day kind of look. I didn't even tell you what it was, did I? It's Chai. I've purchased these before, but this one was sent to me in that 5-minute challenge video that I did. So, I mean, that's really pretty. Point is, ever since I got it, I've been using it nonstop. Anyway, floods of memories come back when I talk about my childhood. Oh, this is the YSL highlighter, by the way. And I try to remember to tell you guys because I know it sparks interest in you guys too. I'm just going to tightline today. I'm not going to, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to try not to put this in my waterline. I was going to say I'm assuming that if you wanted me to do just this like matte look, that you want to keep it more simple. That's not necessarily true. Maybe you just don't like shimmers on your lids. Forget what the name of this is, but I'm just going to put that in there. Now we're going to come back in here and I'm going to gradient, I think, with the E46. I'm going to get grounds and come under here and drag that up just a little bit here on the outside. Then I'm going to come into Speedway, load this brush up with that, bring it across to meet it, and then Drift. So I'm just brightening up the inside of my eye a little bit more. It all depends on the brush you use. Today we're going to do something exciting, so I'm going to actually let you watch me put on mascara. Recently I was talking about CoverGirl, this mascara, which I really do like for a more natural looking eyelash. But Fatima said this is her favorite, and she was making this point, which I 100% agree with now that I have seen it. I missed the boat on, well, most CoverGirl mascaras, to be frank. I mean, I got a hold of one that I really didn't like, and that was it. But check this out. Does this wand kind of remind you of the Urban Decay, what was it, La Freak? That wand was scary, and so is this one. For somebody like me, I don't know if we can do this. I'm probably going to poke myself in the eye, but I'm doing it for you because I love you, girl. So the thing about that wand was that it had these pokey things here that got the inner corner. It had a flat side that lifted the eyelashes up, kind of like a curler, and then teeth on this side. And I will say, this is very reminiscent. Let's take the scary, sticky outy teeth thing, come into my inner corner with this. What would be really good is if I had the Urban Decay mascara to do on one side, but I don't, and this just scares me. I mean, I just know I'm going to poke myself in the eye with this. It looks like I may have lost a lash. I'm in the middle of a growth cycle right there or something. So it's not that I'm not hitting that, it's gone. I think that this is making a pretty lash. Am I going to reach for it more? No.
No, girl.
I will kill myself with this wand. But the point was that CoverGirl came out with this idea first. And I did not know about that, but I do think that that looks really pretty. This is called Total Tease, and I had to get this on Amazon. It doesn't appear to be one of their current mascaras. I'm going to do something really bad here in a second. So I'm going to have to switch off. But look at that. That looks really good. I'm using the other CoverGirl mascara on top of it. I think that looks really good. Okay, I'm going to go do my hair, and then you'll just be surprised when I get back. Will I have a scarf on, or will my hair actually make it today? I don't know, but as soon as I'm done filming, I'm going to call Kelly. I need a haircut, girl. All right, then I hope that you guys know, always remember, you're the best part of the Fritzy family. And if you're not having a blessed day, just go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
Just put these patches on underneath my eyes. I'm sure that you guys could figure that out. Oh, she's turning into plastic now. Come on, focus. Focus on this thing right here. Can you do it? Can you? Yay! Let's give the camera a hand. Yeah. Thank you for doing your job today. Next, I'm now going to come into grounds, just crisscross in there. There we go. Oh, there goes my mirror. Crisscross Danny DeVito just popped in my head. Did you guys see Mama throw Mama from the train? Crisscross. No, actually, the line from that movie is, cows! I always feel like Bob Ross. Just a happy little cloud of darkness right here on the outside. It's just, maybe it feels a little more fluffy today. But it's all in the name of fun. Stop in the name of fun before you... I'm making up words. There is no rhyme or reason. Come on, focus on this before it runs. You know, sometimes it's crucial for you to do your job. You know, there's this OCD thing about me. I had my Huda powder out, but because I've got La Mercier all over my face. Sorry. What is that? Cauliflower? Packages are deceiving. Just because a package is really nice and big doesn't mean that it's just sticking up there, just waiting to stab me. There's a hole in your lash line, dear Mary, dear Mary. There's a hole in your lash line, dear Mary, a hole.